Hey, what to do, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. For having a great day. So we're gonna be jumping full force back into this thing. If you guys remember where we left off on the last video, you guys remember me saying I did not have a drill bit big enough for these holes. So that is still very much a true statement, but my buddy Mike, that I was actually talking about in the last video with my welder gases, he gave me a call and said, do you need a 3/4 inch drill bit? And I said, yes, Mike, yes, I do. So we're gonna be running over to his house real quick. He says he has one. I'm really hoping, now that I'm looking at it, that this pipe isn't too big and we don't have to get crafty. We may have to trim off the head of the bolts a little bit. They may touch on this backside. We'll see. I'm hoping that's not the case, but it may happen. But regardless, I'm still just loving this thing. This is definitely one of the cooler things that I've made throughout the years. So anyhow, that's what we're going to be working on today. There may be some other stuff that makes its way into this video, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go and jump on into it, and let's roll. So we can't have that. Oh yeah, this bridge is looking rad. I love the roll that one so much. I got plenty of room right here to get a nice I think we'll be okay. You think so? Think it'll be good for 30 to 40,000 pounds? Oh, we're looking good so far. That's beautiful. Woo! Oh, that's like a glove. Where's the gen set on this? Is it towards the back or towards the front? Bounce it real hard a couple times. Not today, old boy. I'm gonna have to charge you extra for the upgrades now. So before we actually get going over there, I should probably double check that I'm actually gonna need a 3/4 inch drill bit. That's just kind of what I assumed. That would really suck if I get over there, pick up a drill bit, and it's like a 7/8 that we needed. So let me just see real quick. It's looking like 3/4 on the money. So yeah, for sure it's 3/4. So now we're good to go. Head over there, grab the drill bit, come back, get that thing drilled out, and then we'll get the angle iron welded on there. And I'll go ahead and grab the piece of diamond plate, which I'm really hoping the one that I have is gonna be good enough. I hope it's long enough. That would really, really suck if it was not the right size. If it wasn't, we would probably have to make do with something else, because I don't feel like going out and buying another piece of this stuff. It's not very cheap. So I knew we were gonna be good on the width. I just was concerned about the length, but it's looking like we're good. So now we're gonna go ahead and run over to Mike's, go grab that drill bit. And he was wondering if I had anything that I could like hook his mag drill up to. So I think we're just gonna do it old school, and I'll just run it through with the drill. They don't need to be like super, super precise. You guys, Mike is like one of the coolest guys to have live close by. He super hooked it up, had a bunch of sharp drill bits. He had the 3/4 that we needed, and he gave me a bunch of different drill bits to step our way up to it. So we're gonna go ahead and try and get these 4 holes drilled. Stick steel. I'm gonna be optimistic, but I think the 3/4 inch drill bit might start struggling after the 3rd hole. So we'll see how it goes, and hopefully this works. And then my next problem is gonna be finding some 3/4 inch bolts, if I have them or not. But let's go ahead and start with, we got this little baby drill bit, and I'm trying to decide if I want to like punch a hole or like a dimple in it to start with, or if I just eyeball it. I think I'm just gonna eyeball it. All right, so the cat drill did a pretty good job, but not quite enough to get all 4 done. You guys can see we got the top 2 holes drilled out. The bottom one's about 1/3 of the way through right there. And then we still have the full length to do on that one. So I went ahead and got out the Milwaukee corded drill, which actually I probably should have started off with this thing. It's a much stronger drill, and when you're doing like high torque applications like this, you usually want to use a handle just in case it twists on you. But I was going for speed, just trying to get these things knocked out. I'm gonna go ahead and finish drilling these real quick, and then we'll take a walk over to the side shop and see if I have any 3/4 inch bolts. I want to say I do, but I'm not sure. All right, well, I think everything lined up pretty perfectly. I'm gonna try real hard to not let this bother me, the fact that we have a set of bolts coming this way and then a set of bolts going that way. Not gonna let it get to me. The only reason I had to do it is because we have the weld on this backside and I had to grind a little bit of the bolt head off. I'd rather grind the bolt head off than part of the nut head off, because we can go ahead and weld this bolt to right there and we can fill that gap. Whereas with a nut, can't really do that. But we had to put these ones in going that way because you have to have the short surface be farther back than this handle, because as you pull this out, if we had the bolt sticking through right here, this would interfere with that. So we can't have that. But I'm actually gonna use a tool that I have not used in quite some time, and that's my air-powered impact. I almost always use the cordless ones, but my impact is in my pickup, which is not close to here, and it's raining outside. So we're gonna be using this, and nothing beats the sound of an old air impact. I love them. Ooh, iconic. I love it. I'm only going to be able to use this thing on 2 of them though. I can't get it anywhere. Yeah, just not going to work on the top ones. But on the bottom ones, it doesn't even work right there. And we can only get it kind of at a weird angle right there. Oh well. But it is what it is. Let's see what we can do. All right, well, as far as drilling the holes and putting the bolts in there, we are done. But I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up for today. I'll be back at it again first thing bright and early tomorrow morning. Normally I would keep going, but I sat behind a computer screen all day today, which is like torture for me. And really the only reason that I came up here to work on this was because I had to do something physical today. And now that we've got that checked off the list, I'm gonna run down and spend some time with the family, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Later. I'm going over in my head back and forth on whether or not I want to add a couple more passes to this. I did turn up the juice a little bit. These are some pretty hefty welds. You guys can see we got pretty good penetration. We got good discoloration up there. I don't think I'm going to need to. I think we're just going to stick with the 1 pass. Realistically, the only reason for these, obviously this piece isn't going to rotate. We got a lot of stuff that's helping it not rotate, but this is basically going to help distribute some of the load off of this. And then once we put the top bridge piece over here, it's really going to help distribute the load. When there's weight on here, it's going to kind of help disperse it to the outer side of the fork pocket. When I was first designing this thing, I actually thought about just doing longer sections of tube up here, just like one big long piece coming all the way out to here. But it just looked goofy the more I thought about it. And so I'm really liking the way that this is starting to turn out. It's looking pretty rad. I think it's gonna look way better when it's done than just kind of hokey poking, sticking tubes up here. Because as far as end result goes, I think this is just gonna look way more better, more robust, more professional. We're not going for back in the woods small shop fabrication, even though that's what this is. We're going for something that looks really nice, and I think we're gonna achieve it with this little bridge assembly right here. So I'm just gonna set it up on time lapse again, because the next phase of this is gonna be pretty time consuming. It's gonna be more than adding those 2 pieces. I do apologize, bear with me, but we are getting it.
Went for each other like a bullet from a gun, faster than the sheriff's drawing, hotter than the sun. Didn't see it coming lately, I've been on the run. You know you've seen my face before, so let me tell you something. Darling, you fell in love with the famous man. See my pictures posted everywhere across the land. And if you run with me, you got to understand that you're holding on to a dangerous hand. If I want it, would you still want?
Oh yeah, this bridge is looking rad. I love the way that looks so much. Looks 1,000 times better. And I'm gonna be honest, I was talking with my wife the other night. It's like, you know, this just makes me nervous relying all of the weight on just this one bar. And I think with that top piece right there, I might be able to sleep just a little bit better at night, because this is gonna be moving some seriously heavy trailers. It's gonna be getting used on the daily. So I have been kind of nervous to build it. So the only thing that I need to figure out right now is if I want to flip this over or if I want to do overhead welds. I think I'm just gonna do overhead welds. I got plenty of room right here to get a nice good bead in there. I think we'll be okay. But I am just absolutely loving how this is turning out. I do think on the end pieces right here, I will do a 3-pass weld. And I think those are the only ones that'll get it. Well, maybe up here on the top too. Might do a 3-pass weld up there also. But other than that, guys, it's pretty much built. I just have to put the little pretty piece of aluminum in there. So if we get real crafty, we may throw some D-rings on the front of this to basically simulate like the back end of a truck. If you got to move stuff down the street, maybe you want to safety chain them. I don't know. Got to talk to the customer still. But as far as today is concerned, the safety chain mounts on the back that actually hook it to the carriage. And that's it. We're getting super, super close. And we are going to actually do some real life testing with this thing before we paint it. I want to make sure that everything's super functional, that it can actually do what it's supposed to before we give it like the final touches. If we go and like live something up with this and it starts doing weird things and I need to beef it up, I would rather do it like this than after it's all painted. So anyways, let me get that cleaned up. We'll get those installed. All right, so we just called in the big guns. Mr. Mike came over, the professional. He's inspecting my work.
It's definitely gonna rate the weight.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
You think it'll be good for 30 to 40,000 pounds?
I do, man.
Okay.
I do.
All right, because I did just have, I mean, you even saw it in the picture. We were missing this.
Yeah, this did it all right here.
And I was telling my wife, I was like, I don't know about this one bar. I don't know if that's enough. And I'm glad I did this though.
Man. Where'd you get this piece?
I made it.
That's awesome.
I put that bend in it and everything.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
So I think it just looks, it almost looks professional.
Oh, it's professional. You gonna tie this stuff in?
Not yet. I will though.
Yeah, that's all. That's it, man.
Yeah, I'll probably end up doing like 2 more passes right here, grab a little bit more up top. Just to really hold that in.
Those holes were fun to drill.
See that? How close they were? I'm gonna have to weld right there to grab this to that. I had to cut the shoulder off.
It's all right.
I don't think it'll go anywhere. You see how much the hitch is rated for?
No. I can't see it. I don't have my glasses on.
45 tons.
45 tons.
I don't think we're picking 90,000 pounds up with this, but maybe we could. 90? I don't think so.
I don't know about
90 is a lot.
That's a lot.
But I think for 40 we're good.
That tubing's definitely good to go. That's pretty thick stuff, man.
Yeah. So you can see the thickness on this one right here. I think this is 1/4 inch or close to. That's thick wall stuff.
Yeah, that's 1/4.
And then this
solid.
This is beefcake too.
Yeah. That'd be nice to have this flat area there too, you know?
Yeah, so I'm gonna basically I'm gonna weld them a little bit off the ground. So that piece of aluminum's not touching, and that way it'll be 1.5 inches off the ground. And that's it.
And then how are you gonna fasten that? Was just with
some bolts
screws?
or screws or something figured out. If I do like a carriage bolt, that way the thread can hang out on the bottom too and not get boogered up. But we'll just have a nice smooth top. I'll probably pick up some stainless ones for that. So I always appreciate when Mike comes over and inspects my work because he knows way more about this stuff than I do. I'm not saying that I'm like a slouch, but I always like to have a second opinion, especially when I'm trying to build something new like this, because I've never built a forklift extension quite this heavy duty to move this big of a trailer. So bringing in the big dogs is always like a positive note when they say, you know what, I would go ahead and send that. So it makes me feel a little bit better when he approves of the stuff that I'm doing. But anyhow, we went ahead and started welding the tabs up for this diamond plate that we're gonna be putting back here. I'm almost done. I got 5 out of the 5 done. We just gotta go ahead and add this one right here. Really, it's not very exciting. We're just resting it on this piece of square tubing right here so that we are uniform all the way around. And the very last thing that we're gonna have to do is cut the diamond plate, which originally I was just going to be using a death wheel like so. but Michael's like, why don't you just use your plasma cutter? So fun fact, I have never cut aluminum with my plasma cutter. So we're gonna be doing something for the very first time today. And I'm kind of excited to see how it turns out. Anyways, yeah, let me get these welded back up and then we'll pull out the old Hypertherm and see how that thing works.
For me, 'cause babe, I want it. Do you still want me? I got a bag of money, honey, and it don't belong to me. Took it from a man that had it coming, so you know it wasn't free. We'll load this Smith and Wesson up and take our horses east.
Still blows my mind how small the plasma cutters have gotten. I know when I picked this thing up, I was like, dang, this thing's tiny, because the one that I used for the very first time was like this big cart that you had to drag around. It was this big Miller unit. Great unit, but it was actually less capable of what this thing can do. And if you look at the new Miller units, they are just these tiny little things. It's crazy how far they've come. The Hypertherms, not much has changed since I bought this one. They do have much larger ones, which I actually kind of want the bigger one because we're starting to work with thicker and thicker steel. This one, if I were to be cutting something like this, would probably struggle just a little bit. So anytime I'm working with a thicker metal, this usually does not make its way out. But since we're just gonna be cutting some thin aluminum, which I've never done before, I'm really excited to try it. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing plugged in. All right, so there's not a whole lot to getting this thing set up. We got the plasma cutter, it's got air, it's plugged in. I don't think we need to be full steam. I'm guessing right there. Make sure our line's good. Probably don't wanna roast this. Do have my framing square, which I think we'll use. All right, well, it's just gonna be a little bit snug. Kind of wondering if I just trim it up just a tiny bit or if I just smash it in there. I think I'm just gonna take a tiny bit off. All right, so we are pretty much done with the exception of the safety chain brackets. I don't know where they went. I bought 2 of them and they disappeared. So kind of sucks, but I'm not gonna keep looking for them. It'd probably be cheaper for me to actually go buy new ones instead of spending an hour looking for them. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today. But I am gonna load this up in the back of my truck Monday morning and take it with me because we're actually going to be putting it on their 30K forklift. And we're gonna be running it through the ringer. We're gonna give it a couple tests. And the thing that I wanna see the most is if when we go to pick up a heavy trailer with it, if I see any sort of flexing, any sort of bending. And this is gonna be kind of hard to do while holding the camera, but if I see this rectangular tube and this rectangular tube, when we go to pick up the heavy trailer, if it kind of does like this number where you guys can see it actually flexing in the center, that's gonna be like a major red flag. So I actually wanna inspect a couple things before we finish it 100%. If I do see any flexing, I'll probably add another one of these trusses back here. Now, do I think it's going to? Absolutely not. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm kind of pioneering this. I've never seen a forklift attachment built this heavy duty to move pintle hitch trailers. Maybe they're out there. I've never seen one. This thing is definitely robust. So I want to just do like some super testing before we finish it 100%. Anyhow, that's the next step in completion. But other than that, guys, she's done. I love it. Turned out super great. And we'll see you guys Monday. I lied. We got a quick little side quest. We got a John Deere 210 out here that has a Zerk fitting that is not taking grease. So fun fact, my actual video that has the most views that I've ever made, which I completely wish I'd have done it differently, has to do with this guy right here. The grease joint rejuvenator. Such an awesome tool. We're gonna see if it works right now. We got Josh coming over with his fancy new tractor, and it has a fitting on it that is not taking grease. He's taken it out, tried to clean it out, and it's just not working still.
This isn't going to be a Bauer versus Milwaukee comparison video.
It is not.
Do you want me to set this, Gene?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that other one just had a blown out tip. All right, well, it didn't happen today. Grease joint rejuvenator let me down, so we're gonna have to fix it the correct way, take the pin out, clean the race out, and do all that good stuff. So we're done for reels now, and I'll see you guys Monday. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and try and get this thing loaded up in the back of my truck so I don't have to do it first thing in the morning. If I had to guess, it probably weighs in the ballpark of 400 to 500 pounds. Maybe a little more, I don't know. I'd be real curious to see what it actually weighs. But regardless, I'm gonna try and just slide it into the pickup bed. If I'm not able to do it, I will go get the 299, which if you guys watched the last video, you know that it is up and working great. Was having a couple issues, and I'm happy that it's back up and fully operational. But I'm gonna go ahead and try and push this thing. The only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is when it tips down, if it like chews out my bed liner. So to help try and prevent that, I'm gonna go ahead and put this piece of carpet down. Hopefully it'll slide on that and go forward and not destroy my pickup bed. Let's see how this goes. Oh my gosh, this thing's heavy. Crane to the rescue right now. Yeah, because this thing is dumb how heavy it is. Woo. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and back up a little bit, but I think we're almost there. All right, well, it's gonna make my morning way easier tomorrow. Not gonna have to worry about loading this thing up. Taking it out is gonna be a breeze because they got a forklift there. We'll just fork in, take it out. Tomorrow's gonna be an exciting day. I can't wait to actually try this thing out. And I still can't find those safety chain things. They do have a welder there, so should they pop up tonight, we'll go ahead and weld them on real quick at their facility, and then that'll be it. I'll just have to sand it up and paint it. If it works well, I'll probably just do it there so I don't have to bring it back. But anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, well, just pulled into their yard. That's the forklift that it's gonna be going on. I am a little bit on the nervous side. I'm hoping everything goes just perfectly right now, and that we have no issues. I hope the forks are not too big for the fork pockets, but there's only one way to find out. Let's get this bad boy unstrapped, get it thrown on there, and then we can do our first couple tests with it, I guess. All right, well, I am glad to see that it is still in the back of the truck. Made the trip all the way down here. Got the big forklift coming over. My biggest concern is about to either be intensified or diminished. Gonna try and put the forks into the actual attachment, see if they fit. Yes, sir, it is. Oh, we're looking good so far. That's beautiful. Woo! Oh, that's like a glove. Okay. One more time. It might. That's why we're doing it. All right, so one of the big things is these have a super goofy tongue. So that's the reason that we stuck the hitch out a little bit farther instead of just being flush with it. You're good. Now come in a little more. You still got like a solid 6 inches, so you could jackknife it even more if you needed to. That's a pretty good jackknife.
Yeah, way better than the first step rate.
Yeah.
The first step rate.
You want me to lock it? You guys, I think we're set. I'm seeing like 0 movement. I'm loving every bit of this. I think we're good. Bounce it real hard a couple times. I think we're good.
Maybe do it like how the other one was. The wheel one. It's got like a triangulated gusset with a hole in the middle. We can
Put a D-ring?
put the safety chains on it.
Yeah, that would work. Cause
Kind of how they build the other ones.
yeah, I was thinking about putting D-rings on the top of that truss right there, but the hole's good too.
Gusset and a D-ring. All we need is one D-ring up there, or 2 D-rings.
Yeah.
And then the end plate.
The what?
And then the plate just to stop you from going all the way through.
Okay.
Put a chain on it too.
All right, well, as far as testing goes, I would say it passed. You agree?
Oh yeah.
So we do have a couple changes that we're gonna, I don't know about changes, but a couple additions.
Upgrades.
I'm gonna pick up 2 D-rings. We're gonna put one here, so we can be uber safe with the safety chains. We are going to gusset from here to here because we can't tell if it's flexing because there's a lot of movement because it is at the edge of the forks. There is a ton of tongue weight on these units.
Yeah.
I mean, just you guys can see where the axles are and you come all the way up here. And where's the gen set on this? Is it towards the back or towards the front? Towards the back.
The whole engine and after treatment,
Oh, okay.
radiators all in the front.
Yeah, it's a lot of weight up here. So there was a little bit of flexing going on, but I think it was more the forks than the attachment.
8K can pick it up, but like it gets sketchy.
Yeah.
So that tells you how much tongue weight's on it if you're.
So there's at
maxing
least
that thing out.
9 or 10 up here.
At least 9 or 10.
Okay. And then we are going to be adding this safety chain to the rear back here to go ahead and wrap around the carriage so that way that it can't slide off. Oh yeah, and we're gonna be putting some bump stops right here so that they can't go forward and smash into the frame. And I think that's it. So we got D-rings, bump stops, gusset, another safety chain in the back. We got 4 high performance upgrades coming to the ultimate trailer mover. All right.
Ultimate trailer mover.
Yep.
And then paint it Hugger orange.
Hugger orange?
Yeah.
Sorry, I already bought like 6 cans of black paint.
Ah, rats.
But overall,
Darn it. Pretty legit, huh? Flexing a lot because we're at the tip. Yeah. We're thinking this thing's got to be 10,000 pounds on the tongue because it gives trouble to the 8K, you know? So, gusset here, a couple D-rings for safety chains. I told him fork stops, so maybe this strap steel, but just welded down right here. That way you can't go through, because that's what Jeff did. He went through and then hit it on the frame, and that's what put all the stress on the hitch itself. Yeah. So I think after that, pretty solid. Got the chain in the back. High quality operation we got going on over here.
We're gonna go ahead and load this thing back up. I'm gonna hit the road and hopefully get it finished tonight. And sorry, I can't bring it back tomorrow. I gotta work in my Peterbilt, so maybe Wednesday. You like that hitch?
Yeah. Real nice, Clark.
Made in America, brother. Oh, he's really trusting that thing right now. Oh. Snap! Boom! See, it's real hard to tell if the tongue's flexing or if it's the forks tipping up and down.
That's the forks, dude.
Yeah,
The way it's all springy.
I think so too. I think so too. But we'll gusset it anyways. Look how much you can jackknife with it. All right, well, I think we passed the test, so we're gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up, set her down. Magnificent. Just a work of art, guys. I super like how this thing turned out. All right.
Hey, it's scratch. Do I get a discount?
Not today, old boy.
Dang it.
I'm gonna have to charge you extra for the upgrades now.
Yeah.
Do that one more time. Oh, I was gonna say, do that one more time.